What's up, guys? It is April of 2020, the month of 420, and to be perfectly honest, it is not as cool as I thought it would be. The Wuhan coronavirus has ground the world to a halt and led to shortages of vital goods such as hand sanitizer. And as you guys can see, I am just about out of my last bottle here. And if I'm being real, it's kind of stressing me out a little bit. I mean, how am I supposed to dodge the Rona with no hand sanitizer? So I've seen some other tutorials on how to make hand sanitizer, but I wanted to add a little bit of kick to this one, something to take the edge off and to alleviate some of that stress. So today, I'm going to be making my own CBD infused hand sanitizer. So the first thing we're going to need is alcohol or ethanol. So the cheapest option would be to use isopropyl alcohol, also known as rubbing alcohol. You're going to want to get the highest percentage you can find. This one here is 91%. Now, I was lucky enough to find this at the store, but I have been hearing reports that rubbing alcohol is sold out in a lot of places. So if you head to your local store and you can't find this on the shelves, don't freak out. Just head over to the liquor aisle and see if you can find some good old-fashioned grain alcohol. This Everclear is 190 proof or 95% alcohol by volume. Now, depending on where you're located, you might find the same brand, but at a different proof. Some states only allow a max proof of 151 or 75.5% ABV, and other states are even lower. For example, in California, as of 2016, the max allowable proof is only 120, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I mean, the same year that they legalized weed, they made Bacardi 151 illegal. I mean, I know all us pro-cannabis people were like, yeah, actually, alcohol is way more dangerous than cannabis, which is true, but how am I supposed to make Caribou lose with no 151 rum? But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, not dying from the coronavirus. So let's get to mixing our hand sanitizer. So we're going to be doing all of our mixing in this Pyrex measuring cup. It makes it really easy to get the right amount of ingredients without really having to waste any ingredients in another cup when you measure. We're going to add in 1 cup or 8 fluid ounces of our isopropyl alcohol. Now it's time to add our special ingredient. So I'm going to be adding a CBD isolate. So it comes in the form of a powder and it's 99.7% pure CBD. I'm a big fan of using this stuff, especially when it comes to topicals and ointments, just because of how easily you can transdermally absorb CBD and have it be uptook into your system when you put it on your skin. When you're working with like THC or something like that, it doesn't really break the blood-brain barrier. So there's no psychoactive effects when you're using it in the form of an ointment or a cream. So I would prefer to use CBD just because you're actually getting those effects and they are somewhat instantaneous. So we're going to start to stir our alcohol and slowly mix in the CBD isolate. It doesn't really matter how much CBD you add, it's just kind of however much you want to put in there. I want my final ratio to be about 100 milligrams per ounce of hand sanitizer. So I know that my total volume at the end is going to be 1.5 cups, which is exactly 12 fluid ounces. So I'm going to add 1.2 grams of CBD, which will give me 100 milligrams of CBD per ounce. So we're going to keep mixing until the CBD fully dissolves into the rubbing alcohol. And at this point, we essentially have a CBD sanitizer. It's just not a very good one yet. You see, alcohol really dries out your skin if you were to just put pure alcohol onto your skin, and it would make it dry and crack. So most hand sanitizers have either glycol or aloe vera or some sort of moisturizing element that keeps your skin from drying out. So I'm going to be adding in some of this aloe vera gel. So I'm going to start to stir the mixture, and I'm slowly going to add the gel as I'm stirring the mixture. Now, the CDC recommends that hand sanitizer be at least 60% alcohol to be effective at killing viruses. So we really want to pay attention to that. So if we start off with 90% alcohol like we did, and we were to put a 2-to-1 ratio of 90% alcohol to our moisturizing agent, that would give us a final alcohol content of 60% alcohol, which is what the CDC recommends. So we really want to pay attention to this number. Now, on the other hand, if we were starting with, 151, which is 75%, or like a 70% rubbing alcohol, we would only be able to add 1/8 of a cup of the gel and still be at that 60% ratio. So you kind of got to do the math depending on how much alcohol content you're starting with. That's why I really recommend that you get as high alcohol content as possible, because then you can have more of that moisturizing element in the hand sanitizer. So I did notice that as I was mixing this, I was getting a little bit of white gunky buildup on the fork that I was using. And I was kind of tripping out because I was thinking it might be CBD, but upon further inspection, it was super sticky. So I looked at the ingredient list on the aloe vera gel that I used, and there's a substance called triethanolamine, and it's used in hair gels. It's kind of like a thickening agent. It's not bad, but it's just not really homogenizing into this new mixture that we're making. So when you're buying an aloe vera gel, be sure to get like as pure as possible. This was just like a cheap store brand, but try and get like a good organic one because it's not gonna have all those like extra mystery ingredients in there. So we're almost done. There's just one more final optional step, and that's to add in a few drops of like an essential oil to help with the aroma, so you're just not bombarded by this alcohol smell. But I'm actually gonna use terpenes, and I'm gonna use this blueberry haze terpenes, just because this particular strain is really high in pinene and micrine, which both have antimicrobial properties. And also the pinene is really great for as an anti-inflammatory. So I'm gonna give a few of these bottles to my grandma who has arthritis, and hopefully this can kind of help her out a little bit. I'm gonna mix in 1 milliliter of these terpenes, and we are finally done, ready to put it into our spray bottles. I like these little bottles because they're pretty convenient in keeping your car in your pocket. And I gotta say, this stuff actually works really, really well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, as always, be sure to give it one sanitized thumbs up. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.